Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. And today, we have now reached the conclusion of Bleach Legacy. What if Superman was in Bleach? Season 1, Part 6, the Season 1 finale. So far, I would like to say thank you to everyone who's followed along with this series from the very beginning, this being my first Bleach series ever here on the channel. Granted, the reviews and the overall reception of this series has been a lot more mixed than I would have liked, if I'm being honest. Definitely seeing a lot of drop-off, so I'm not sure if this series is really as popular as I think it is, or if it should continue. But at least for now, we have Season 1 wrapped up in the books, and with next year looming around the corner, we'll see whether or not this series can go on for a Season 2. I would at least like to try to get a Season 2, but again, I have no idea how popular this series will be, or if enough people will want to see it in the near future. So, in the event that this is the only season that I do, I would still like to say thank you to everyone who's enjoyed it. Hope you'll continue to enjoy it, and who knows, if this series is popular enough, then maybe we can continue on in Season 2, because if so, then I have a lot of stuff planned for the Soul Society arc that I think you guys will enjoy greatly. But anyway, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So as always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. While Ichigo was trying horribly to make some sort of friendship with Uryu, Clark had his own set of worries. It all started that afternoon, just when school was getting ready to be let out, when he was invited to a cafe by Lois. For Clark, he almost couldn't believe it. It felt too good to be true. Even Ichigo had to try to steal his brother's nerves. Dude, calm down. All she did was invite you to the cafe. You're acting like she's asking you to walk down the aisle. That would be a dream, though. Oh, you're lost. Shut up! You should be happy for me. Happy what? I've watched you burn and flail for the last 2 years. And then it took her making the first move. Can't really say that you've won anything now, can I? Who cares? I just feel like things are finally going to be turning up my way. You know, with all the crazy and hecticness that's been going on in our lives, it looks like we could be overdue for some normalcy. And this is just what I've been looking for. I can't wait. Okay. Well, you enjoy your little date. Anywho, I gotta go pick up some groceries for dinner. I'll see you at home. I'll make sure that we don't wait up for you. Oh, yeah, thanks. In the meantime, though, Rukia, she was feeling conflicted. The others, they hadn't seemed to notice yet. That was good. It would buy her some time. Rukia knew that for what she had done, letting Ichigo take her power, just staying here in the human world, the Soul Society was going to be coming after her sooner rather than later. She knew that they would probably send some of their best to track her down. At most, if she stayed hidden within her Gigai, stayed on the run, perhaps she could be better off for a couple months, maybe a year or two. Who knows? Maybe she could blend into society so perfectly that they would forget all about her and move on. At least that was the hope. But staying in Karakura Town, that wasn't going to be an option. She would be endangering Ichigo, Clark, their friends and family. She couldn't put them through that. Unbeknownst to them, Rukia would pack her things as she set off to try to leave and get away before the trouble started. In the meantime, Clark found himself sitting at the cafe with Lois. Lois had her legs crossed under the table as she looked towards Clark with a inquisitive grin, almost as if she knew something, a secret. You know, there's been a lot of crazy stuff happening around town recently. Wouldn't you agree, Clark? Yeah. There's definitely been some craziness. I can definitely admit that. A lot of earthquakes, huh? You know, back in the States, in Metropolis, we get a lot of nasty windstorms. Oh, like a hurricane or something? You could say that. You know, I've never really been much of a religious person, but tell me, what do you know about demons? Demons? You know, big, nasty creatures of the night. Have you ever seen one? Seen one? I can't say that I have. Are you sure? You never seen a really tall one? I'm talking about one like the size of like the skyscrapers. No, maybe even taller than that. You ever seen something like that? Big, burly, white face. Kind of looks like he's wearing a mask. Pointy nose. Hollow eyes. Hollows? What? Did I say something? No, not at all. You're a nervous wreck, Clark. Calm down. I mean, it's not like I'm accusing you of anything. I mean, you don't have any secrets to hide now, do you? Secrets? Secrets? I mean, come on. What kind of secrets could they be? Lois would look at him eyingly, her fingers creeping across the table on top of his, performing a little dance of sorts. Why so tense, Clark? I haven't even done anything. All we've done is order coffee. Coffee! Coffee! Coffee. Coffee. Yeah, we could use some coffee. Coffee! Clark, the coffee's already here. Oh. Come on. You need to relax. I mean, I can feel your heart beating. It's moving faster than a locomotive, don't you think? A locomotive, huh? Been a lot of birds and planes in the sky also. Look like blue with streaks of red. You know, must be Spirit Airlines trying something new. I mean, come on. It's not like it's someone flying. No, that would be crazy. That would be ridiculous. Yeah, that is ridiculous. So, when were you going to tell me that you fight demons, Clark? What? Fight demons? I fight my inner demons every day, but I mean, that's besides the book. I'm not, come on. It's not like I'm an exorcist or anything. I mean, and your brother, he goes around swinging a large sword or something. And Rukia, how's she tied into all this? Rukia, who told you about Rukia? There's something about Rukia? No, there is nothing about Rukia. Nothing at all. You don't need to know anything. But there's something, isn't there? Before Clark could even stand up, Lois would make sure to move over to the booth beside him, blocking his only way of escape. I'm bet that you're looking around right now, aren't you, Clark? You're probably thinking about how many ways you can get out of this situation without revealing your true self. I know you're the blue blur. You're this phenomena. A Superman? A Superman? Come on. I'm not Superman. I'm nothing even close to super. Lois? Come on, Clark. Are you really going to keep playing dumb? I saw you. I saw you, Ichigo, Rukia, Uryu. Come on. I wasn't born yesterday. It wasn't even just me either, or Hime saw. And she's got fairies. Fairies? What is she, a Disney princess? You know, I was thinking the same thing. Although, I mean, she is a little ditzy. She'd probably be a Rapunzel. Yeah, I could see Rapunzel. Wait, hold on, that's besides the point. Wait, Orihime saw? So you admit that there was something crap. I plead the fifth. You can't plead the fifth. Why not? Because we're in Japan, not America. Damn it! Well, what gave it away? Oh, I don't know. How about this tall hunk of boy standing before me who thinks that just because he slicks his hair back and takes his glasses off, that suddenly he's a completely different person? I mean, come on. I get it. We go to a school with predominantly dumb people, yes, but I score in the top percentile, Clark. I wasn't born yesterday. Cat got your tongue? Okay. What do you want to know? I get it. You just brought me out here to get the truth, didn't you? I mean, come on. Clark, I've known you for a while, and I mean, who's to say that I didn't just want to spend time with you? You just want a story. Isn't that right, Lois? Hey, you know what? Scratch it. We don't even have to talk about it right now. We can just call this a date. We can call this a date. Wait, what did I just say? You said we can call this a date. Hold on. I'm just... You know what? Let's call it a date. Clark Kurosaki. Yes. Wait. This is a date? Like a date? Will there be a second date? I don't know. You tell me. Clark was jumping around like a boy on his birthday on the inside. Yes, it's a date. I can't believe it's a date. Wait, hold up. She knows the truth. This is bad. But it's a date. Let's go. Wait, no, this is bad. She knows everything. I gotta tell someone. Wait, no, I need that memory wipe thing that Rukia has. Wait, where is Rukia? Oh yeah, she's probably at home. Rukia, in fact, was not at home. She was attempting to escape. However, she would be stopped as two members of the Soul Society, two Soul Reapers that she was very familiar with, would cut her off at the path. That being Renji Abari and Byakuya Kuchiki. Older brother. Rukia, it's been a while. So, Rukia, this is what you've been doing, huh? Renji would yell out. Thought that you could run forever, huh? What good that'll do ya? You should make things easier on yourself. Tell us where the human is that took your power. Human? There was no human. And even so, there's no way a human could take all of my power. Who are you trying to fool? The one hiding behind the gi guy? Look, you make this more difficult than it has to be. And you're only going to prolong everyone's suffering in this. Rukia wouldn't be alone on that night. From out of nowhere, Uryu would arrive. He had just been coming back from the store by chance. Of course, for Renji and Byakuya, it was surprising to see that someone from the human world could see them. But no matter, it made no difference. Even though Uryu tried his best, he was still reeling from the fight against the Minos Grande and against the 100 Hollows. And in this situation, he was in no condition to put up any meaningful fight, as he lied on the ground bleeding out. However, things would take a turn. For you see, Ichigo, when he had gotten home, found Kon, the possessed lion stuffed animal that was inhabited by a soul warrior using some soul candy, he found them tied up, and a note. It was from Rukia, explaining that she was leaving. Ichigo would immediately chase after her, and he gave a call to Clark. Both Clark and Lois had, gotten lost in the date. They were actually enjoying it. Of course, it wasn't because Lois didn't like Clark. Let's just make that very clear. Clark had been crushing on her for a long time, and she had been crushing on him just as long. It was just a matter of them both needing to pull the trigger. And when they weren't talking about that subject, they actually had a lot in common. The banter was natural and normal, and the two of them felt as though they were soulmates. I wonder why. Although, the date would be called short when Clark's phone would ring. Hello? Ichigo. What's wrong? What? I'm on my way. What's the matter? Lois would ask. Ichigo needs my help. Is it about the thing? Ooh, can I come along? Lois, I promise I will explain everything to you when I get back. I promise. But right now, I have to go. Please. Lois would nod her head in understanding, as Clark would pay for their dinner before immediately rushing out the door. And in an instant, he was gone. For Lois, she looked up to the sky. She felt like she could see the streak moving in the distance. She began to wonder, was there more to this than met the eye? Who truly were Ichigo and Clark Kurosaki? And what role did Rukia play in all of this? Rukia found herself cornered by both her brother and by Renji. The two of them were ready to take her away. That was until Ichigo would suddenly arrive, throwing his hat into the ring, as he had now entered into his Shinigami form. So, you're the famed human who stole the power of a Soul Reaper, Renji would say. Yeah, although I wouldn't really call it steal. I just have a talent for it. What can I do for you? Why are you after Rukia? It's really none of your business. You should be lucky that I even allow you to breathe where you stand. You should be dead. You know, I get that a lot. A lot of people have always been after my head, but they've never really managed to take me down. Will allow me to be the first. Renji would draw his blade as he charged towards Ichigo. His Zanpakuto, it's large. It's bigger than the average. So, what's the deal with the big blade? Overcompensating for something? Oh, haven't really had much to compare it to. What's the matter? You feeling insecure about yours? Oh, please. You're all bark, no bite. The fight would continue until Ichigo managed to land a scratch on his face. Renji was now starting to get annoyed. He took his blade as he began to enter into the Shikai state, bringing forth the true power of his Zanpakuto. Roar, Zabimaru! What the? Before Ichigo knew it, the blade had transformed. It seemed as though it extended and gotten longer, with now more protruding blades. It moved and swirled around like a serpent, before immediately dashing towards him and slashing him in the shoulder. What's the matter? Can't handle the true power of my Zanpakuto? What? What is this? This is me showing you the difference between us. You're just a big fish in a small pond. There's a world out there far greater than you. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you can accept the trueness of this reality. The difference between you and I is like the difference between the heavens and the earth itself. You don't even come close to me. However, Ichigo's strength would now increase tenfold as he drew upon more of his spiritual power, being able to hold his own against Renji. Renji would go in for another strike, only to be met with a powerful heat laser. He just barely dodged at the last moment as his arm got singed. Descending down next to him would be Clark. What the? And just who are you? Just someone helping out a friend and a brother. Mind telling me who you are? From the looks of things, I'm guessing the two of you are Soul Reapers also. Yeah, and what of it? Byakuya would be examining Ichigo closely. You're one of them. One of them? You're a Kryptonian. How? I remember the incident. It was just over 16 years ago, at least in Earth years for you. We had a massive influx of souls entering into the Soul Society. They were Kryptonian. Their planet had been destroyed. We had thought that all of them had been taken out. Surprising to see that there's a survivor and that he's on Earth of all places. Wait. Krypton. Yes. Although they've long since passed into the Soul Society. Even if you entered now, I doubt you'd be able to find any of them. They've all been scattered to different parts, different places in time, enjoying their eternal rest. Ichigo could see the worriedness on Clark's face. Snap out of it. Don't let yourself get riled up. Right. What do you want with Rukia? Clark would ask. We're taking her back to the Soul Society. And your brother there, he must die. Yeah, I'm not just gonna sit back and watch you kill my brother. Sorry, not sorry. It's not happening on my watch. You seem to be mistaken. You talk as if you have a choice in the matter, Byakuya would say. Choice? When it comes to family, you never have much of a choice. You protect them no matter what. Byakuya's eyes would slowly drift to the left, as if to avoid eye contact with Rukia, as if that line in and of itself had cut down deeper than any blade ever could. Renji was getting annoyed as he swung his Zanpakuto towards Clark, who was able to dodge effectively, moving in to deliver a strike. Renji would be sent flying back a good few feet. Damn, he's got some power. And he's not even tapping into his spiritual power. That's just pure physical force. He's truly something else. Renji now felt that he was in a bit of worry. He probably could have taken that fake Soul Reaper on his own, but if he had to fight him and the Kryptonian, he might actually lose this. That was until Byakuya would step forward. Before Ichigo and Clark even had a chance to react, the two of them found themselves falling to the ground. For Clark, this sensation, this feeling, was this blood? No, his blood. What the hell? Ichigo looked towards Clark in shock. Through the S in his chest, a slash had been laid, to which blood was starting to pour out. However, Ichigo couldn't react because he fell out as well. Clark was the only one left as he fell to his knees. How? I've never been cut before. This feeling... How did you... No matter how strong you think you are, there will always be someone out there stronger than you. Let that be a lesson you carry over with you in your next life. Rukia would step to defend the both of them, to not allow them to die here. Renji was annoyed at this. Byakuya would simply look to his younger sister. You know that defending them will only add to the charges. But do you really believe that helping these two is worth so much that you would take on even more? More guilt, more punishment? I do. Please, just leave them alone. Please. I'll go. I won't put up a fight. Very well then. Renji, let's go. Are you sure, sir? What about him? He pointed to Ichigo. By the time the sun rises, all of that spirit energy that Rukia had given him will have vanished. He will be nothing more but a human. Whether he lives or dies, we'll let fate decide that. And the Kryptonian? He's bound to this world. He can't do anything else. We have no reason to worry of retaliation. Now, let's go. Understood, Captain. Renji would open the gateway to the Soul Society. And with that, the three would vanish into the night. However, for the three boys strewn out on the ground, a man dressed in robes and in a bucket hat, twirling around the cane, would land in the area. Well, seems they got themselves into more trouble than it was worth. Oh, well. Well, can't leave them all to die here. Let's go. The next day, Ichigo and Clark would awaken in the same room, with some weird older man and some kids running around. They were at that shop Rukia had talked about, apparently. Run by Mr. Hattenclogs, or you can call him Urahara. Well, Ichigo, Clark, glad to see you're back in the world of the living. For now. What happened? Well, best way of explaining it. You got your ass kicked, and you were left out there to die. Uryu, is he alright? Ichigo would ask. He's fine. I treated his wounds. I was gonna bring him here to recover, but he got up of his own volition and went home. He was more worried about you guys. Good reason, too. You really got put through the ringer back there. I mean, the fight against the lieutenant and the captain, and to actually come out unscathed for your first time, that's truly a remarkable feat. Divine intervention, more like it. And Rukia? She's been taken back to the Soul Society. She's set to be executed. Executed? The two boys would look at each other, stunned. We can't let that happen. We have to... Oh! Simmer down there, Kryptonian boy. You've just experienced your first cut. So tell me, how does it feel? Like hell. You've never been harmed. Yeah, it's not hard to see why. Kryptonians have a different physiology from humans. Plus, your planet was a lot different from Earth's. How? What? You think Krypton and Earth was exactly the same? Nah, Krypton's gravity was way stronger. The weather conditions a lot more harsher. And not to mention, it had a red sun, which you could say decreased your power even further. When you got sent to Earth, you got sent to a place with lower gravity and with a yellow sun that you could absorb power from. The sun? But what does the sun have to... I can see it. You can't right now, but I can perceive your spiritual power. And I can also perceive that there's a veil around your whole body. From what I can see, it kind of works like a plant. Photosynthesis and all that jazz. Plants absorb light from the sun. It's their way of converting it to energy. Your veil, it's very thin. It's around your entire body, every nook and cranny of it. Your body absorbs that sunlight, and you're able to use it for energy. Plus, coupled with this new environment of yours, you seem almost invincible. How do you know? I know a lot of things, kid. I've seen a lot in this lifetime. But anyway, if you guys are going to go after and save Rukia, then it's going to require a lot of work. We don't have enough time for that, Ichigo would say. If we just stay here, she's going to die. We can't just waste our time. Before he had a chance to move, he would be knocked back down by Urahara, who looked at him seriously. Let me fill you in on a little secret, Ichigo. The weak have no right to demand anything of the strong. That's a lesson you should take with you everywhere you go. And it's a lesson you should never forget. Now listen, the Soul Society have their own rules that even they wouldn't break. If Rukia is to be executed, it'll be in a month's time. That gives me 10 days. 10 days to train you both. It'll take 7 days to open the gateway to the Soul Society. And from there, you'll have 13 days to rescue her. If I send you into the lion's den the way you are now, you'll be slaughtered. And you won't ever get the chance to save Rukia. The two of you have a lot of potential. I'm sure that even you both recognize there's a level of power that you haven't reached yet. If you really want to save Rukia, this is your only chance. You'll have to walk through the gates of hell. But if you come out on the other side alive, then maybe, just maybe, you'll have a shot. Urahara would look to the two boys with a sadistic smile. Now, shall we walk through the valley of the shadow of death together? Ichigo and Clark would look at each other before looking forward, the two brothers nodding in agreement. They were now at a race against time. In just 1 month, Rukia would be executed. They didn't have a moment to waste. This concludes Bleach Legacy. What if Superman wasn't Bleach? Season 1, Part 6, the Season 1 finale. I thank you all for enjoying and following along with this series, and I hope you'll stay tuned for everything else that's to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we continue and conclude Konosuba, the explosive sage of the wonderful world. What if Jiraiya was in Konosuba Part 5? But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.